My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
Children are sweet and lovely new members of society that people adore. They can also be the cause of people going to jail, especially their parents.
No, please. Stop resisting. We're going to make this worse. Let go. Let go of the purse. No. Let go of the purse. No.
On September 6, 2023, officers of the St. Petersburg Police Department received a report of a woman who left her 3-year-old and 6-year-old children in a hot car outside Walmart. The officers confronted the mother as she arrived on the scene. She hesitated to provide her identification, and the officer arrested her.
Okay. You got your license on you? And this is not a matter of you're not going to give it to me. It's either you're going to give it to me or I'm going to put you in handcuffs. And right now I have enough to arrest you for child abuse. Okay? Let's not get there. Okay? You're going to add another charge if you don't give me your license. Okay? Because you're going to obstruct my investigation. So I need your license for my investigation.
The officer meets the suspect and demands for her license. He informs her he will place her in handcuffs if she doesn't give him her license.
I'm doing an investigation into a child abuse. I said that once already. That's now my second time saying it.
But what's going to happen from this point?
We're going to investigate right now, okay? You're making this more difficult than it needs to be.
The suspect asks the officer why he needs her identification. The officer informs her that he is investigating a case of child abuse and says she is making the situation more difficult.
I'm going to get them. No, please. No.
Stop resisting. We're going to make this worse. Let go. Let go of the purse.
No.
Let go of the purse.
No. I was just asking you a question, please.
Let go of the purse. Let go of the purse.
The officers decide to place the suspect under arrest for being uncooperative with their investigation. The woman begs and resists, but they instruct her to stop and say she will only make things worse.
All I was asking was questions.
I answered your question, did I not?
Yep. All right.
We're going to help you walk, man.
We're going to help you walk.
We're going to go this way. I will bring you to the car.
The suspect refuses to release the bag, and the officers cut it. They attempt moving her to the patrol vehicle, but she refuses and says she was simply asking questions.
You're detained for this investigation, so yes, you're going in the car.
Okay, I'm just asking, are we going to leave the premises?
I don't know yet.
Can't guarantee, not right now. We're doing a complete investigation.
The officers move the suspect to the patrol vehicle, but she refuses to enter. She proceeds to ask if they will leave the location immediately.
The children couldn't even open the car door on their own. Then when you come outside, you're insisting that you're going to leave, and you're insisting that you're not going to give me your ID or identify yourself.
The officers stand around the suspect and inform her on her wrong actions. They inform her that they will continue their investigation, and she begs them to let her kids stay on the premises.
See that? You did that. I can charge you with battery on Leo right now.
What?
See that blood?
That was an accident.
No, it was not. No, it was not. I was telling you that you were squeezing my finger, and that is from you. Okay?
An officer shows the suspect the injury he sustained while she resisted arrest. The woman denies giving him the injury and says she couldn't have because she cannot walk properly. 30-year-old Nyaka Mar was charged with 2 felony counts of child abuse and resisting arrest without violence.
Okay? Now, what is this right here? Who is this, or what is this?
My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
On August 2007, Amanda Lewis contacted authorities of her drowning daughter, and unfortunately, the young girl died. Shockingly, Amanda's son, AJ, accused his mother of murdering his sister. The trial commenced the following year, and the lawyers attempted to confuse the 7-year-old boy.
Good morning, AJ.
Good morning.
Would you tell us your name?
Andrew Hutto.
Do your friends call you AJ?
No.
Do you have a middle name? What is that?
Jordan.
Jordan. Sometimes do you let me call you AJ?
Yep.
AJ enters the courtroom and a lawyer assists him to get on the stand. He begins asking AJ basic questions to see if he can continue as a witness.
Now, what happens to people or little boys that don't tell the truth?
They get a spanking and they get grounded.
Okay. Today, can you tell us the truth if I ask you some questions?
Yes, sir.
The lawyer proceeds to ask AJ if he knows the difference between a truth and a lie. AJ initially says he cannot, but then says he will answer their questions with the truth only.
I met these people yesterday for the first time. And I told them today that Adriana was dead. Is she dead? You're going to have to answer so they can hear.
Yes, sir.
They want to know how Adriana died.
Yes, sir.
Now, I wasn't there, AJ, was I?
No, sir.
The lawyer begins asking AJ about his sister's death and says the jury would like to know how she died. AJ agrees to tell them and begins answering questions.
Will this drawing help you to explain to the jury what happened?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you remember what day you drew this?
No, sir.
Okay.
The lawyer pulls out a picture of a drawing AJ made, and AJ confirms that he drew it. He asks AJ if he used the picture to describe the incidents that occurred that day to the police, and AJ says he did.
Tell me, AJ, what is this right here?
My pool.
Your pool?
Yes, sir.
The one that was in this picture that we just saw a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
All right.
AJ begins describing the objects in his drawing to the lawyer. He talks about the people he drew and what they were doing when he drew them.
Okay.
Sir.
Now, what is this right here? Who is this, or what is this?
My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
Putting her hand over her face.
AJ begins talking about the part of the drawing that depicts his mother. He informs the officers that it shows as she is drowning his sister, and refuses to physically describe the action.
Who was it that decided to call the police that day? Was it you or was it your mom?
Hey, Mommy.
Mommy? Did you tell her that she had to call the police?
No, sir.
The lawyers ask AJ if he ever struck his sister while playing, and he laughs while saying he didn't. He also asks if he is the one who called the police, but AJ says it was his mom. At the end of the trial, the jury found Lewis guilty of first-degree felony murder and aggravated child abuse. She was later sentenced to life in prison without parole.
This is ridiculous.
Sure is.
Like, y'all, sir, please do not be rude to me. I don't know.
I'm not. I pulled her.
Yes,
You want me to be rude? I could have put you in fire on your kid.
On March 2023, officers of the Oklahoma Police Department responded to a call from a kid about their mother, who was unresponsive. The officers rushed to the home and broke down the door to access the mother, who was semi-alert due to drug use. The officers were forced to arrest the mother when she regained complete alertness.
You okay? Ma'am. She's moving. She's responsive. After I kicked the door in. Yeah. Hello? Police Department and Fire. Can you need to move? Okay. The drawers in the way. Y'all got better tools than I do. Mad that I was kicking the door.
Yeah, some on the contest. Let's break the door, huh? Is that her right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting smashed.
Yeah, her legs under that.
Cut her leg or something. Anybody got anything to smash against it real quick?
Nothing in here that's heavy enough to do that.
Hey, you been drinking or you been doing drugs?
3-9, she's semi-alert. Fire's here working with her. We will need him, so I know my nerve 97.
Yeah. So you have just tinfoil there, brown all over your nose and wrist.
Hey, how about we be some honest here, since we got kiddos that called us and you're over here passed out. It is ridiculous. You're leaving kids unattended while you're over here getting your little high fix. That is ridiculous. So let's work with them.
Officers arrive at the home and attempt to break down the door leading to the mother's room. They eventually get into the room and realize the woman was unresponsive due to drug abuse.
You got any ID, ma'am?
What?
Identification, that's what.
I do. Okay, this is ridiculous.
It is. It sure
has
is.
nothing to do with me and my kids.
Actually, it does. They're the one that called 911.
Who called 911?
The kids that were here, they're outside right now crying because they thought you were dead.
What?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh my gosh.
What's your last name?
My last name is Weber.
The officer asks the woman for a means of identification, and she continues saying the situation is ridiculous. The officer informs her that it's her kids who called 911.
Well, if it was fentanyl, you wouldn't be breathing right now. This would be a whole different situation.
That's what he did. So it was powder form. He got it right down here from the people about down below where they're drug sellers. Of fentanyl.
So is that what you took?
Huh?
Is that what you took?
Sir, I didn't take it willingly. Did you not just hear what I said?
No, I walked in after the fact.
Can you not yell
Okay.
at me? I'm just asking.
Okay, so don't give me attitude either. Okay, I walked in after the fact. I just showed up. Okay, all I know is you were passed out. That's all I know.
Okay, when you get
Okay.
the rest of the story, we can talk because
Okay.
you're not going to. We're
All
not
right, so
arguing.
then just keep
over
your
this.
mouth shut then. Okay, we're not talking. I'm not asking you any questions or anything.
Excuse me, I can talk. This
Okay.
is my house.
All right.
The suspect begins talking about the drugs that people are on. An officer points out that she wouldn't be breathing if she was on said drug, and the situation would be completely different.
Do a few more questions, get it
We
over with,
can.
get a shirt
We
on,
can.
and get everything over.
We can,
Okay.
but he's not going to treat me like I'm
What are
an
your-
LPN too at Mercy Hospital. Like,
What's your first and last name for me?
my name is Ashley Weber.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How do y'all work? Do y'all work like us where you move over?
No, and where are
we
my
got-
children?
Assigned areas.
Oh,
Yeah.
So like y'all work here.
The suspect becomes agitated, and an officer tries calming her down by saying they'll ask only a few more questions. The suspect puts a shirt on and asks where her children are.
You really need to go to the hospital.
Well, I don't want to. Unless my mom was here for my kids, I do not. I literally checked my medicine. That's why the guy that was here this morning went to jail because he has been doing fentanyl or boxes, whatever it is, from the neighbors downstairs. So it was not willingly me taking this medicine. It was in my medicine bottle, and his was a powder form that was on my medicine, I guess. So no longer than me coming in, taking my medicine, going to the bathroom, getting ready to take a shower, apparently I was passed out.
Alrighty, we gotta do one more step since you won't go to the hospital. We're
That's
gonna have
fine.
to talk to our medical director. Can you talk to him real quick?
Yes, that is perfectly
Go ahead.
fine.
Alright, thank you. Oliver, you there?
The suspect talks to dispatch over the phone, and dispatch advises her to go to the hospital. She refuses and says she can't leave her kids alone.
So how long have you lived here again? What did you say? A couple months?
I'm sorry. No, I just moved. We got here in August.
In August?
Yes, and everything was fine. With the path of that, my now ex-boyfriend was working at this liquor store up here, and so it was a big old deal of the neighbors or the people that owns here they lived here in the past, and she went to drug court. She's been in prison and all that. My dad passed away. I went on the 13-year marriage. So anyways, I work nights, 24-hour shifts, and apparently in the process of me working and him working these hours up here, he was messing with these people down here that literally sell fentanyl, and the girl's pregnant too. And anyways, all this was happening when I was at work. Come to find out, I found out everything that happened and started kicking him out with the cops when he was turned in. They knocked on the door this morning. I wouldn't let them in today.
So he's in jail now, right? As of today?
Yes, and it's not for something he did. I guess they have a hold on him.
Okay.
He has 10 business days to let Oklahoma City, or not Oklahoma City, Sequoia County come and get him from Oklahoma City.
The officer begins questioning the suspect, and she informs him that she moved in not too long ago. She also says she lived with her ex-boyfriend, but they separated after he cheated on her.
This is ridiculous.
Sure is.
Like, y'all, sir, please do not be rude to me. I don't know.
I'm not. I pulled her
Yes,
out.
you
You want me to be rude? I could have pulled you in front of your kids. I pulled over here so your kids not seeing handcuffs.
Okay,
That's
what
not
I'm
being rude. That's
saying
being
is not
considerate.
explaining to what y'all's doing.
I just told you you're going to jail.
And it had to do with him, and his fentanyl powder was on my medicine from the people downstairs this
You
way.
smoke your pills, huh?
I don't smoke my pills. Like, y'all are not listening to
Okay, well, I was there when I kicked in the door.
And I opened y'all in.
They
let
did
y'all
not.
in.
You did not.
I didn't let you.
Fire tore the door off the hinges.
I'm talking about this morning.
We weren't here this morning. This is this afternoon.
I'm
It's
talking
6
about
o'clock in
when
the
you
afternoon.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, you're sitting here saying I said I smoked my pill.
That was not said either.
Okay. Well,
That was not
I'll tell you.
said. Like, what the
The officers inform the suspect that she is detained and has to sit in the patrol vehicle while in handcuffs. The suspect becomes irritated and asks the officer not to be rude to her. The officers escort her to the patrol vehicle. Ashley Weber, 35 years old, was booked on 2 counts of child neglect.
Put your hands behind your back. Got that one? Yep. So you're under arrest right now for tampering with a witness and burglary.
What do you mean? Burglary? Burglary who?
Because he has a Fourth Amendment right in his own room.
On June 16, 2021, an officer confronted a woman whose son was the victim of a domestic battery. The mother attempted pressuring the son into dropping a case against her boyfriend. She even went as far as threatening the boy with voodoo, and the officers placed her under arrest.
Can I talk to him for a minute? You mind?
I'm not even inside. He just went inside.
Okay.
I don't know why he's doing that. Why? He just called you?
Yes, ma'am. Hey.
Why are you calling?
Hold on, let me.
You calling then?
Yeah, let me talk to him for a minute.
Officers arrive at the suspect's residence and meet her standing outside. They request to talk to her son and inform her that he is the one who called them. The victim informs the officers of how he is a victim of a domestic battery, and his mother is pressuring him to drop the charges. The charges are against her boyfriend, and his mother threatened to cast a voodoo spell on him that would end his life. The suspect was genuinely scared while speaking with the officers.
So why are you moving his stuff?
He don't belong here. The owner of the house has to move here.
Are you kicking him out?
The officers return to the suspect and ask her what is going on. They ask why she is moving the victim's property out, and the suspect says he doesn't belong in the house anymore.
You're not answering my question. Did he say that he's going to move out?
Of course he want to move.
Okay.
He can't live here.
Ma'am, did he say that is what I'm asking. You're not answering my question.
The woman informs the officer that she has another house and is moving her son to it. The officer asks her if her son agreed to move, or if he is forcing to move out of their current home.
You moved the stuff out of his room though, right?
I'm in charge of him. Okay? Nobody else is in charge of him.
Okay.
All right?
The officer asks the suspect if she is the one who moved the victim's property without his permission. The suspect says she is in charge of her son, and no one else can tell her what to do. The officer later returns to the suspect by the patrol vehicle.
Alright, raise your right hand for me. Swear and affirm everything you wrote in here and told me is true and correct to the best of your knowledge. Alright.
The victim proceeds to provide evidence of his claims as he shows the officers a video of his mum moving his belongings into a van under the rain. He informs the officers that he wants to press charges against her.
Put your hands behind your back. Got that one? Yep. So you're under arrest right now for tampering with a witness and burglary.
What do you mean? Burglary? Burglary who?
Because he has a Fourth Amendment right in his own room.
The officers return to the suspect, and after a while, place her under arrest. The suspect says her son doesn't have his own home, but the officers escort her to the patrol vehicle. A non-contact order was eventually issued between the mother and her son.
What on God's green earth were you doing that your daughter is here by herself at 7 years old, where she's terrified and goes into the bar and asks random bar people to help and call the police?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it.
On October 2023, DeLand police officers respond to a 7-year-old girl who asked the police for help. The girl had walked into a bar and asked the staff to help her find her mother. The girl's mother was eventually found and was apparently drinking beer with a friend. A man emerges from the bar and informs the officers of the situation. He says he has tried contacting the girl's mother, but to no avail.
My mom's name is Victoria. I've tried calling her mom several times. I've actually tried asking her last names and going on Facebook and maybe trying to find mutual friends.
The men accompany the officers into the bar, and the officers ask what their names are. They meet the little girl in the building, and she tells them her mother's name.
What's your mom's name?
Her name is Veronica.
Veronica, what was the last name? Roxanne.
The girl narrates how her mum stepped out of the car when she was asleep and hasn't been back ever since.
Yeah, because I fell asleep during it, and then she hasn't been there ever since.
The girl agrees to take the officers to the vehicle, and the officers decide to run its tag. They accompany her to the car, and as the officers search it, they realize her mother left her phone.
Maybe be in any of these buildings. She walked off to one, but I can't see where because because she turned the lights off.
The girl begins describing her mother to the officers and what she wears. The little girl helps the officers as much as she can.
It was her shirt, maybe. Do you know what was it, like pink, purple?
Like long sleeved white.
Long sleeve white?
Was she wearing pants?
No.
The girl's mother is eventually found, and the officers are not happy with how she treated her child. They ask what she was doing that caused her to leave her child alone for over 4 hours.
What on God's green earth were you doing that your daughter is here by herself at 7 years old, where she's terrified and goes into the bar and asks random bar people to help and call the police?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it.
The suspect confesses that she had been drinking and woke up alone and in a strange car. She says she came to the location to drink with her friends, but lost track of what happened.
Were you in the car alone? So, wait, you were in the car alone?
Yes.
Whose car is it?
I have no idea.
Why were you in someone's car you don't even know?
I have no idea.
Veronica was later arrested and charged with child neglect without great bodily harm.
Alright, you're being placed under arrest for DW.
On May 2023, officers of the New Mexico Police Department received a call from a grocery store concerning an ex-employee. The woman, Annabelle Betancourt, was kicking the store's front door and throwing trash from her vehicle. Officers arrived on the scene to handle the situation. Officers arrive at the store, and the suspect approaches the officers. She informs them she is an ex-employee, and she was simply purchasing grocery. The officer asks for her driver's license.
Okay. But you don't work here anymore? No, I don't work here. I've been working like about a couple months already. Okay. You just have your driver's license?
The officer asks the suspect why she was yelling outside the store, and she denies the accusation. She claims that the employees in the store don't like her because she is an ex-employee. The officers find a bottle of beer in the car and ask who owns it.
Why were you yelling outside? That's what they called inside. Why were they yelling outside? Well, they don't like me here, so I wanted to come to get food, but we were about to leave. Because I used to work here. I worked here for 2 years, but those beers aren't in San Alfonso.
An officer goes into the store and watches the CCTV footage. He returns and narrates the events to his colleagues. The suspect is indeed guilty of the store worker's accusations.
She puts it down, starts yelling and screaming. She goes to walk out, they shut the door on her, she kicks the door, starts shaking it, gets in the car, driving around the parking lot, throwing out all this trash, and then flipping them off.
After watching the CCTV footage again, the officers realize both the suspect and her brother took turns driving the car around the parking lot. Further investigation showed that the suspect's brother was on probation.
She gets in the passenger seat, they pull up, and then that's when she gets out, and that's when
The officers ask the suspect if she'd like to perform a field sobriety test, and she agrees. She claims she only had a drink in the morning and nothing else.
How much did you drink today? I only took a shot. That was like earlier, but like... What kind of shot was it? A 99, but that was like early in the morning.
The suspect fails the field sobriety test, and the officer places her under arrest. They escort her to the patrol vehicle, and she begs them to let her see her child, who was in the vehicle while they were driving recklessly.
Alright, you're being placed under arrest for DW. Brooke, come pick up your kiddo. My brother's being arrested? I don't know. But that's your kid. You want to get my license taken away? So our concern right now is your kid.
The officers proceed to place the suspect's brother under arrest, as he also fails the field sobriety test. The officers place him in the patrol vehicle and he cooperates with them.
Go ahead and turn around for me, man.
Both suspects were charged with driving while intoxicated with a minor in the vehicle. On January 2019, officers responded to 16-year-old girl's call about her father who had taken her phone. She informed the officers that her father, Anthony Robertson, didn't pay for the phone, so he can't take it from her. On arriving at the home, the officers sided with Anthony as it is a parental disciplinary issue.
It's not a theft of property.
How is it not?
Because he's your father.
My mother bought my phone back.
Well, then he can hand it over to your mother. You can hand it over to your mother.
My mother stays in Dayton. He was never supposed to take it.
Well, either way, like I said earlier, you having a phone, your father has the ability and the right to take the phone from you. All right, if you're being unruly or on whatever, as far as not behaving or not listening by the rules, having a phone is not a right. It's a privilege.
Officers arrive at the house and speak to the young girl's father. An officer informs the girl that her father has the right to take her phone from her since she is a minor, and he is her legal guardian.
It's a privilege that you have a phone, period.
So what I would suggest is you guys have a farm for a few minutes. You guys then sort out whatever the differences are here as to what led up to it, and whatever would help him facilitate you getting your phone back. I would do just that, so you get your phone back, so you're not without.
Anthony repeats what the officer says and informs his daughter she is privileged to have a phone. The officer instructs them to sort out their differences and asks the girl to obey her father if she wants to get her phone back.
I don't know how much more.
It's even not a matter of agreement. It's the way it is. It's a fact. It's just, yeah, when you're under 18, it's, yeah.
Anthony asks the officers individually if they agree to what their colleague has just said, and they do because she is under 18.
So when you're under 18, they have that right to do so. Yeah. Back in the day, we had pagers, and I got mine taken away. So I hear you. Pagers. Do you know what a pager is?
The officers even make example of how they had their pagers seized when they were young and had to work to get it back.
It's a space or whatever. I'm in the house playing the game with the kids, and my other daughter told me the police were here, so I came out and see what you was.
I'm assuming she called, so dispatch doesn't necessarily tell us all the details.
She don't.
Anthony informs the officers that he was in the house playing games with his other kids when he got informed that the police are waiting for him outside.
In a year and 2 days, ma'am. If he takes your phone, it's a theft.
There you go.
Not for another year and 2 days.
There you go. You know, Dayton's
That's
like
fact.
3 hours from here, so for you to be here,
it's a long haul.
You know, but I ain't gonna keep fighting you because you're a child.
The young girl informs officers that she will be 18 in a year and 2 days. The officers say her dad can't seize her phone from that point.
Like I said earlier, he put stipulations as far as when and how you get your phone back, so I would suggest you do what your father says in order to get your phone back. And that when I was here a minute ago, when I first arrived, he put stipulation of how you get your phone back. So give us some time, find out what your father needs from you in order to get your phone back. And if you don't care to do anything for him or what he wants you to do, you'll never get it back then. And then you'll have to go out and waste your money on a new one, and then he'll find that one, he'll snatch that one from you too.
The officers instruct the girl to follow the stipulations her father put in order to get her phone back. They say she won't get it back if she doesn't do what he instructs. Well, that's all we have for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that notification button to get updated on our newest content. See you on the next one.